So there are new reports tonight that President Trump is halting a CIA operation that arms Syrian rebels against the brutal regime of Bashar al-Assad. Critics calling this move a victory for Russia, whose military backs Assad. Chief amongst those critics is Senator John McCain. In his first political remarks since announcing his brain cancer diagnosis, McCain said this: "The administration is playing right into the hands of Vladimir Putin. Making any concession to Russia, absent a broader strategy for Syria, is irresponsible and short-sighted," says Senator McCain. Here now is General Jack Keane, chairman of the Institute for the Study of War and a Fox News military analyst. General, good to have you here tonight.
Good to be here, Martha.
First of all, we mentioned earlier that you had spoken with Senator McCain. How's he doing, and what did you talk about?
Well, first of all, as been reported, his spirits are very much the same. He doesn't want to talk about his illness. He was talking about this business with the administration moving away from the Syrian moderates. By the way, the Syrian moderates are the only opposition force that's fighting for a democracy in Syria, not an Islamic State, and certainly not a radicalized Islamic State. But getting back to the senator, I'll tell you, he's the most honorable, selfless, courageous politician I've ever met in my lifetime. It's no wonder the American people have such affection for him, regardless of what their politics may be. But he's full of life. He's full of spirit. He'll come back here when his doctors give him a green light so that he can travel, essentially, is what the issue is. There's no noticeable effects in talking to him of anything to do with the illness, and the doctors are saying that's not surprising.
Well,
but he'll be John McCain when he gets back here, for sure.
We look forward to that. And, one of the reasons I think he's so respected across the aisle is that he's a person of conviction. And whether people agree with him or disagree with him, he is passionate and he has conviction, and he loves his work in the Senate, and I think everybody will welcome him back. Just explain for everybody, though, why this is such an odd move in your mind. And, it really doesn't send a good signal for an administration that's trying to make it clear that they are not interested in doing something that, sort of kowtows in any way to what Russia wants.
Well, the Syrian moderates have always been the force that we've been aligned with. And obviously there's been a covert operation to provide them with lethal aid, specifically anti-TOW missiles. And I can tell you for a fact, because at the Institute for the Study of War, where I'm at, we track this every day, and they have been quite effective against the Assad regime forces. The moderate force in the north has been attrited, but the one in the south has not been. So it mystifies me why we would undermine them. The morale is going to be impacted by this when we take these weapons away from them. We're going to make them more vulnerable to the Assad regime, to the Iranians, and also to the al-Qaeda, who is likely to attack them. And as a result of it, they'll likely lose some members because they'll head over to the more radicalized groups because they think they have a future and the moderates do not. So it makes no sense in doing this. And I agree with others who've said, why make this concession? And certainly, if this is round one between President Trump and Putin, and we're making a concession like this either before the deal or during the deal, establishing the de-escalation zones, this doesn't look too favorable to the United States. I think we lost round one.
CIA Director Mike Pompeo, I just got word, is speaking in Aspen at that conference, and he is trying to make this very clear. He said our aim in Syria, in this case, is to stick it to Russia. Words to that effect. You feel that this action, though, that their goals are sticking it to America, excuse me. So you feel that this goes against that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When the Russians came in and made their military intervention in September 2015 with air power, Secretary Kerry told them, do not attack the Syrian moderate forces. They were the first forces the Russians attacked with no consequences to it. And what is happening in Syria with this action is undermining the capability of this force.
All right, so Mike Pompeo is saying that the Russians' goal is to stick it to America in their actions in that area. General Keane, thank you so much. Good to see you as always.
Yeah, good talking to you, Martha.